What's going on, everybody? My name is Jason. You're watching Redfish Bluefish. This is the channel that examines art, nature, and science through the lens of the aquarist. It's Saturday. Looks like we're on the 24th of July. And I'm really happy you guys could come by, if you could come by. And if you're catching it after the fact, that's cool too. We jump on over and see what we got going on in the main screen. We are streaming directly from the YouTube app this time. Just, it's really for more simplicity than anything else. All right. Looks like we have Brian Klimaszewski, we got Jeffrey Watts, we have Laura Sutton, and we have Natural Aquariums. And we got Fish Tropic. Hey, what's going on, man? We'll give it a few minutes to let people pile in. Yeah, I basically just set up this live stream moments ago, really. And we know how much YouTube loves that when you just set up a live stream at the last moment, you know? They really promote the heck out of it. We got Peplin Creek Aquatics in here. What is up, buddy? How you doing? I wonder how the weather is out your way, man. You are out right smack dab middle of the country to the north. Wonder if you guys are getting a ton of rain? Hot, not hot? What's going on with your weather? We got Aqua New Grow IG. What is up, man? What's going on? Appreciate you coming by. It looks like we have Paul Soltero. Nice. What up, my nerds, my fish nerds? Natural Aquariums here with a comment right off the bat. My new plant farm is up and running. Got about 10 species in there so far. Still room for more. Right on, man. Well, we're going to look at some plants here in a little while. We're making progress on the aqua farm. It's going well. And that's what we're going to check out here in just a little while. Made some progress on the aquascape. I've been given the iwagumi. It's basically, you know, all carpeting plant and some really nice hardscape. You know, it's a helpful method to use, the dry start method, which is actually not all that dry because you got to keep it moist. You got to, you know, spray it down at least a couple times a day, and that's what we've been doing. And I'm looking at it over there. It's coming along really nicely. So we're probably going to be flooding that guy maybe in a week or so. Maybe in a week. So I'm checking out I'm watching my own stream so I can watch chat, and it's pretty amazing how low the latency is. Like we're like 3 or 5 seconds behind. It's pretty impressive. Oh dear. So we got a comment from Natural Aquariums. Dry start works well for creating that carpet. Yeah, it does. It does. At the very least, it should help with keeping those clumps of carpeting plants from floating to the surface. You know, virtually as soon as you flood the aquarium. That is a major bummer when that happens. Keith Hanshaw, hey, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you coming by. In fact, I'll grab the cam and we'll take a walk over there and I'll show you how much progress we've gotten in the last, I don't know, week on the dry start iwagumi. And walk over here. Of course, we're broadcasting from the shop. Let me get some excess plastic out of the way. Basically, I just draped a plastic trash bag liner over this guy and called it good. I said, you know, I don't care if it doesn't look great, whatever. As long as it holds that humidity in and light can get through, we should be good to go. So, yeah, we've made a lot of progress on this guy. Check him out. So you see each individual plug. I mean, there's probably 100, close to it. Probably close to 100 plugs of Monte Carlo. This is Monte Carlo, by the way, in case you're wondering what kind of plant this is. This is all Monte Carlo. Hey, welcome, Naomi H2O. Appreciate you coming by. This is Monte Carlo, and it's got a problem, not a problem, but just a fact of dealing with Monte Carlo and a lot of other carpeting plants is right out of the tissue culture, often right out of the pot. If you buy them in a little pot, you know, like a little plastic pot, they either have really, really, really short roots out of the tissue culture cup, right out of the tissue culture cup, or you lose a lot of the roots pulling them out of the pots. So they don't have much of a root system to begin with, and you really got to plant them and be patient. Otherwise, they're not going to root and they won't stay submerged. See, here we go. We got this little clump here. See this clump? You see this long root here. This is actually, this piece is not even planted. It's way above the surface. But it's managed to create a root and go all the way down. So you have to understand that every single one of these guys has done that at this point. Each one of these little clumps has created, you know, long root system like that, like that, like that. There's a bunch of roots coming off this guy. So probably, hey, what's going on, fisheye on tank ticks? So probably it's a really good bet to say that most of this is pretty darn well rooted. Back up a little bit. Apologies for the condensation all over the glass. This is the composition we came up with. This very, very red stone. That's a little better. So you see each little teeny tiny clump was, I don't know, about the size of my thumbnail. And it's really, really grown a great deal. We got this huge little, this jungle here. So it'll be good to get this flooded with water, you know, get some ferts in there. Get some CO2 injection going. And in a few more months, we should have a really nice thick golf course looking thing going on. We've got the soil on a natural angle going up here, and then it gets higher as it goes this way. Kind of showcase. I'm gonna put some really small little teeny tiny fish in here. Really small guys, teeny tiny guys. And some shrimp as well, of course, some shrimp. I see a question here from Naomi. Did I choose Amazonia or Amazonia 2? Actually, I'll show you exactly what I went with, and it's what I sell exclusively. This is my substrate of choice for this composition. Florin volcanite from Brightwell Aquatics. This is a, I think this is a 15-pound bag here. Now this is the brown, the fine, and this is the black. I've got a big, giant pallet of substrate coming in. I'm really low right now. We sold quite a bit. Yeah, this is what this is. Oops, don't want to mess that up. Nice, Geek Boy. I see your comment here. Geek Boy says, I was really tempted to dry start my new 14-gallon, but I did not have time. Oh boy, I know. That's a song I sing. Got the occupants in my quarantine tank on Thursday. And then he follows up, nice, I used the Florin laterite powder layered in fluorite black. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, no ammonia spike with Brightwell at all, Naomi. None at all. There's no ammonia release whatsoever with this substrate, which is why I really like it. I mean, I get it why a lot of substrate manufacturers kind of build that auto release of ammonia into it, sometimes on purpose, sometimes on accident. And ammonia is really great food for plants, like amazing food. It's the best you can, pretty much the best you can get. Plants love it. And it's pretty much readily available as a nitrogen source. But the way the way I think about it as a hobbyist and as a shop owner, if I want to start plants in a planted tank, I want to choose what sort of nutrition I'm adding to the water in order to give those plants a boost. If it's ammonia or ammonium, then I'll add that myself. I don't want the substrate built in with some, dead man switch where, you fill it with water, no matter what happens, it's going to start releasing ammonia into the water. Not a big fan of that. I've used the Legacy Amazonia from ADA. I don't know what this is, little leaf. I've used the Legacy ADA Amazonia soil, and I've used the so-called Amazonia Light, and I've also used Amazonia 2. And still, in my view, those particular substrates really do release too much ammonia for my liking. I don't want any ammonia release. So anyway, let's get my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. Couple times a day, this is all you do. Moisten it down really well. Let me change hands, pardon. Pardon. And this is the remnants of a little bit of extra I cracked open to fill in the nooks and crannies. The 3mm, the fine. There we go. All right, guys. Have a seat for a moment. See what we have going on in chat. I haven't been paying too much attention to it, as per usual. Laura Lake, appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad you caught this, man. That's awesome. Hey, color guppies. We got color guppies in here. So many awesome folks. I see a comment here from Natural Aquariums. Yeah, Natural Aquarium says, I use the ADA Amazonia 2 for my new plant farm, along with some laterite underneath and the little packet it came with. Later that day, you could smell the ammonia coming off the tank surface. Yeah, there's a lot of lore and information out there about ADA soil, not just ADA, I mean a lot of different companies, aqua soils. It's rumored that composted tea leaves are used in the process of ADA's aqua soil. I don't know if the composting of the leaves, or perhaps it's just a partial composting of the leaves. Maybe that's where the ammonia is coming from. I don't know. That's that very, very closely held, closely regarded secrets behind companies and the aqua soils they make. That's some serious business. They keep that pretty secret. The whole thing is that Amazonia 2 was supposed to provide for far less ammonia than Amazonia or even Amazonia Light, and I don't know, maybe. It's just the It's just the system in general of any, I'm not picking on ADA. I'm a dealer in ADA stuff. I have ADA stuff all over the shop. ADA aquariums for sale, ADA Hardscape. I love the company. But I'm just not a fan in general, no matter who the company is, the manufacturer is. I'm not a fan of aqua soils that emit ammonia, ammonium. Just don't want it. If I want to dose with things to give, as I was saying over there when I was showing you the aquascape, if I want to dose with something to give those plants a little extra something, I want that choice to be me, that my choice. I don't want it built into a product like Substrate. It's super easy to add ammonia or ammonium to water if you wanted to. If you wanted to add some kind of liquid fertilizer instead, basically a really high nitrogen fertilizer, and you want the nitrogen source, like a lot of it, maybe half of it, to come from urea as the nitrogen source. That's fantastic. You don't need ammonia emitting substrate if you have that choice, and we all do. There are plenty of good liquid fertilizers out there. So I'm going to jump back into chat and see what else I missed. Yeah, Brian. Brian says, looking good, really making me want to do my Iwagumi. Yeah. They're a lot of fun. Like I've said in previous live streams, with Iwagumi tanks, just pay extra special close attention to your hardscape, to your stones. Don't just use whatever you come across. Iwagumis need to have very strong hardscape elements to make them successful. You need a nice, lush carpet and that sort of thing. But pay special attention to your hardscape stones. Each one needs to kind of stand on its own. And you'll read a lot, like the father stone needs to be the biggest, and it needs to have a blemish, and it can't be too perfect, and blah, blah, blah. Maybe. But the first step is just get out there and find those really, really beautiful hardscape pieces. You're going to collect multiple pieces to find the right ones that work together. You want grains running in the same direction for the most part in a lot of compositions. Colors need to kind of match. And that's easier said than done when you're looking at huge crates of hardscape to choose from. It sounds easy, it's not. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on. I think we're caught up. It looks like we have 22 watching now and 10 likes. I appreciate it, guys. So let's jump over and let's see what else we have going on. I can show you a couple of tanks in our aqua farm, but not all of them. Keeping progress in certain areas a little on the down low. But you see what we've got going on here and there. Let's have a look. Making really nice progress. This is Rotala Makrandra, Bangladesh. And this is a plant that, obviously not a needle leaf plant. It's got really nice rounded lobes on the end of each leaf. Unless it's under really high light, it's going to be really green and fresh looking like this. Now, with that said, if you put it under really high light, and this is not high light here. This is not highlight. This is a Stingray 2. This is medium high, but it's not high. If you grow this under a really high light, like a twin star or something like that, then if you grow it under really high light, you're going to start getting pinks and reds, and the leaves will start kind of turning upside down on the ends. They'll kind of get really frilly and start flipping upside down. It's really an interesting plant. And this comes from supposedly Bangladesh. I'm not sure 100% on that. Very green and frilly and leafy. And we don't have a very good shot there. There we go. Some clumps of it going on. Doing well. We got little man down here. Chilling. Waiting for his breakfast. And then this stuff, this is a really, really lovely plant. One of my favorites, definitely one of my favorites for sure. Rotala SP Bangladesh. It's not Myriophyllum Guyana. You can kind of imagine what it would do for you in an aquarium in the background. A lot of little tetras swimming around, doing their thing. Maybe some rummy nose, bunch of cardinal tetras zipping through there, kind of feather-like leaves. It's a really nice plant here. Zoomed in big time on it so you can see. It's got that very pink, red, kind of scarlet apical meristem right in the very middle of that cluster there. That's the growing tip. It's very common for that plant. And under much higher light, those olive greens will become kind of pinks and burgundies. And it'll get streaks to it. This is Rotala macrandra. This comes from southern India, a place called Kerala. Very billowy. Billowy leaf plant. Hey, Zen Ginger's in here. I just noticed it on my phone. Hey, thanks, Zen. I appreciate you dropping the link. And thank you for coming by and modding. As you can see, we're definitely pumping in carbon. Carbon. Give those plants their nice carbon source. They are carbon-based organisms after all. There we go, guys. One of the loveliest leafed little green plants that you can get. It's easy to grow. This is Proserpinaca palustris, mermaid weed. Very, very easy to plant to grow. And it's actually a very slow growing plant. Let me zoom out a bit. It's a very slow growing plant. It really is. See this long stem here? That guy's been going for, a couple weeks, 3 weeks. A lot of other stem plants would have grown much, much larger by now. And that's kind of why people, they kind of get sad about stem plants. They got to hack them and replant them and maintain them because, stems can really, really kind of go crazy. Stems can kind of go crazy on you if you're not staying on top of it. Yeah, really interesting interesting shaped leaves on this guy. Some people call this plant sawtooth hygro, like hygrophila, and it's not hygrophila at all. Not at all. This is Proserpinaca. This is not even the right genus. But some people call it sawtooth hygrophila. It's definitely not. Now, this is a really nice plant. Kind of give you the overall. Let me see if I can zoom in on one of his really nice leaves. We've got a mildly serrated leaf going on. This is Limnophila aromatica. See a little piece of filamentous algae in there. This little dude. There we go. That is a constant battle with planted tanks. You get a little piece of filamentous algae that really likes where you have those plants and decide, hey, I'm going to start growing there just a little bit. You've got to keep up with it. This tank actually does not have any ammonia shrimp. This one does down here, but this one does not. I see a question, let me see, from Paul Soltero. What's on the availability list that you just have to bring in? Geez, that's a good question. There's a whole lot of stuff not on the lists that I'm looking for, to be honest with you, Paul. This is the very, very slow, slow part of the year. I mean, it's really, really super slow right now. Business is slow for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're in the freshwater or kind of saltwater segment. This is just the summertime. So as such, you notice that lists, availability lists from wholesalers from Europe, that's who I deal with, they have less and less stuff available because it's slow for them too. Everyone kind of cools their heels a little bit, A lot of the really cool stuff that I'm always looking for, rainbow shiners, cool pseudomagills, weird apistos, stuff like that kind of dries up. It has a tendency to dry off big time. And that's happened now in spades, guys. This is Bacopa caroliniana, by the way. Very, very great plant. Basically tolerates a pH range of 5 to pH 9. I mean, this plant can literally grow pretty much anywhere. Lemon Bacopa. It's a great choice if you guys live, somewhere in the Midwest and you have really hard water, maybe down in California, whatever. No, Brian, I have not. See previous comments. It's really slow. It's weird right now. Like I say, suppliers, wholesalers, they slow down big time as well. I mean, it's not permanent. It's going to turn around. It's already kind of starting to heat up and warm up, I should say, in certain other segments. Let's jump down here and show you guys some more plant prawn. PR0N. No, Ian, I do not have any green tiger barbs yet, bud. No, I do not. I do have some amanos in here. You see them working? See them kind of working on the plants. Little dude right there. Cleaning. Doing his thing. This is Hygrophila pinnatophyta. Really lovely plant. It's got a really Jurassic kind of feel, the land that time forgot, kind of feel to it. This right next to little clumps of Pagostum and Hellfry. Downoi, it's also known as Little Star. Each clump has many plants in it. We're growing them out here. Let's head back over here and see if we're even still transmitting. That was very strange. Yeah, for some reason, oh gosh, we're gonna have to wrap up early today, anyways, guys. We just looked at the time. For some reason, if I get an incoming call on, I use an iPhone, get an incoming call, whether it's Google Voice or not, it can cause major problems with the YouTube app on this phone specifically, which is very strange. Anyway. So we're at 30 minutes in, guys. We're going to have to actually wrap it up a little early, but let me just make sure I didn't miss anything huge. I see a question here from Mike Stambaugh. Have you ever ordered Apistogramma culanderi? I have not. I've never had the ability to order those guys. I've never come across a list or a website, whatever, that says, yeah, we have these right now. Go ahead and order them. Schwarzkinn, Blackchin, Meinkenai, all kinds of weird McMasteri morphs. We have some Kaites in here right now. We have some strange, kind of out of the way, a few strange out of the way Apistogrammas, but I have never come across the culanderi. I'm sorry, no. Let's see if I've missed anything. I'm sure I have. Yeah, Natural Aquarium's here with a comment. I have tons of Limnophila aromatica, wonderful plant, supposed to be tasty too. Yes, Yeah, it's a plant that found its way into Vietnamese cuisine because of the aromatic nature of its leaves. Yeah, it's used in cuisine very frequently. Right on, guys. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up. I'm going to have to get down the road and pick up a couple of things before we open the shop up for today. It's Saturday, and we open at 11 a.m., and it's 10:30. So, guys, I really appreciate you coming by. Sorry for any kind of technical issues there when I got that call. My phone kind of froze. I don't know if it froze for you guys. It definitely froze for me. But with that said, I appreciate you coming by and hanging out. You've been watching Redfish, Bluefish. I wish you all peace, love, and happy fish keeping. And we'll see you next weekend right here on FishTube. Have a wonderful week.